Dude, that was epic. What the hell's going on? Stop that stuff. All right. Hey, what's happening? I hope you had a good weekend. Happy Monday. And ooh, that was an epic one, wasn't it? Didn't that was kind of, I was like, damn, I don't know if I can live up to that music that's popping, man. That was wild. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. And it's I'm back from my weekend of drinking and debauchery with my friends from college, and our alma mater, Drake University, beat the dreaded Loyola, whatever the hell their mascot is. I don't even know. Anyway, so they're tied for first place in the conference, and all the alumni are happy. So I'm back. I drove back in the middle of the night last night because we watched the playoff games and stuff. But even though this is not a sports show, so I don't really necessarily spend time talking a lot about that, but it was a fun weekend, man. It's it's always good to get together with good friends that you've been around for. Well, we realized that I know I'm old, but I've known these guys. I met them 40 years ago in a freshman year in college, and that's wild to me. That I've known people 40 years. I mean, you know your family all your life, but you've had friends that you've had for 40 years. I've got high school friends that I've had I even keep in touch with one of the kids I went to kindergarten with. I mean, and so that's a long damn time to be friends with people. But yeah, I've known my friend Rory Murphy for 53 yeand I've been friends with this dude because we were just tiny little guys when we met, and it's just weird. But yeah, these are some of my best friends in the world, and had a great weekend. We spent most of the day Saturday drinking beer and laughing about shit, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday we went to one game, watched 2 football games, and I took a nap and drove home in the middle of the night. So anyway, I got it back safely. I'm happy to be here. And I wasn't the only one doing some driving this weekend, as that foreshadows what we're going to talk about today as we get into the show. So that's my intro to the intro. But Johnny, play the real intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. It's the 31st of January, the last day of January, 2022. We've gotten the first month of this very interesting new year off to a good start. And I'm glad you all are here. I'm glad I made it back safely and in one piece. And let's just go ahead and say hi to everybody, because why won't this post? This is weird. Why isn't this not working? Is there something wrong with this? Hang on a second. What the hell is going on with mine's here? Or did I already post this? Apparently I already posted this. No. Post. May include. Oh, too many hashtags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I got it. We'll just take off this hashtag. How's that for you, buttheads? Anyway, let's say good morning to everyone in the chat and get this party started, because I want to see if I can get through all these articles today. And there's some of them going to be a little repetitive, but it was interesting. Sorry to hear about you. Oh shoot, I didn't hear about it. Well, I'll get through the chat there later. Yeah, had a fun weekend. Now what's going on here? Why won't this post? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have too many. Oh, good Lord. Anyway. First in the chat today is our friend Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell. Good morning, sir. Also, good morning, Colleen Bernier, Chief Florida correspondent. Also, James Colley, what's happening? Select the boys in the house.
Yeah,
also, good
boy.
morning to my favorite Canadian, Jaeger Pony. Simon on Bull Nation's here. Thank you for tweeting out the show. Don Julio Bikes, Gulf City Biker, and Trash Man's in the house. And yes, it is Metal Monday. Jonathan Peterson, what's happening? Maddie's in the house. Speaking of truckers, also good morning to Simic Magic. Shell D, nice to see you. That's a name I haven't seen in a little while. Also, good morning, Nicholas Daly. TC's in the house. Also, good morning, Nomad, DI Freighter Watcher, TC. Also, did I say Nomad? Yes, I did say Nomad. Also, good morning, Renee Mayette. Who else is here? Dr. Hobo, Modern Day Plague Doctor. I believe that might be Zach Osborne for those who are playing at home. Good morning, and also good morning to let's see, is that everybody? Oh, and Tyre Alexander's nice to see you. Back, sorry, tool around with my alt. I'm not sure what that means, but you know, it is what it is. So let's just talk about what the fuck is going on with Minds. I'm gonna just refresh mine. Let's see if I can fix this. There's something wrong going on with Minds, and it's just not working right. Let's see. All right, let's do that. Get rid of the extra hashtag. Got rid of that. I'm getting rid of the second one. Oh, I see. I have too many. I don't know where the. Because I forgot. See, in Minds, they consider mine. When I put the number 756, they consider that a hashtag. All right, whatever. There we go. Nunya Beeswax in the house. Higgs in the house. Nice to see you. That means Cindy's somewhere in the background. I'm glad you're all here. So there's this big thing going on, and it's not just you Canadians. Now, when Canadians start protesting, you know some shit's about to go down because, you know, y'all Canadians are so polite and shit, but well, I suppose they had some Black Lives Matter protests up there too. But you know, I think there's a large portion of the Canadian population that is in to hell with this mode. You know what I'm saying? I really think, you know, when, you know, because you got all these truckers up there. I mean, thousands of trucks. I'm watching. I know that people have been talking about this and how it's big, but I'm starting seeing the pictures and stuff, and I'm tripping out how many people are doing this trucking protest going to Ottawa, and boy. And then of course the Prime Minister up there decided to hide for a while, but you know, I mean, he's maybe he was having a party, maybe he was doing some blackface and he just kind of mingled around the crowd so nobody would notice him. I don't know, but the thing about this convoy that really got to me as I'm watching what's going on. Good morning, Attack Alpaca. Hello, K Show, by the way. Is how it's, well, you know how the media is, how it's being portrayed in the media, how it's being smeared, just completely and utterly smeared. And it's really just, so for example, someone, and I didn't bookmark any of this. Maybe I did. Did I bookmark any of this stuff? I don't know. I have a bunch of articles. Well, here's a good example. I do have a couple of things bookmarked. Here's an example of how they're being smeared, okay? This is a editorial cartoon. I don't even know where it's from, but this is the editorial cartoon. Putting fascism on all the sides of these trucks, supply chain, and they're carrying fascism. Now, perhaps the maker of this cartoon doesn't understand what fascism is and just uses the word as a substitute for, you know, people that I disagree with, you know, because fascism actually has, excuse me, still a tiny bit of cough left. By the way, I got the cup of reparations here. Fascism actually has a meaning, and fascism isn't people protesting against your government. Okay, but I've seen a whole lot of people like saying, "Oh, yeah, these are the same people who were, who would have followed Donald Trump in the United States. These are the same people who would have done January 6th. They're fascists. They're racist because they found there was a picture of a single, newly unfolded Confederate flag. Hilarious. That, oh yeah, I do, I'm Ronan, what's up? That's for you, brother. There, I mean, they found one. Oh no, was it a Confederate flag or Nazi? I think it was a Confederate flag, but there's hundreds of thousands of people out there, right? And of course they were able to find one Confederate flag. I laughed because one of the articles I read even said that it was an article talking about the thing, and it said yes, at least one Confederate flag that we could find. So you had either it's an op, or two, yes, somebody might have had one, and they said, oh hey, look what we found. Let's put this picture all over the papers, right? And so now you see that, and everyone who's out there protesting automatically becomes a racist. That's racist! Right? So it's just embarrassing how the media's working to smear these people, and it's also there's people out there saying that there's people out there saying, oh, these guys just want the opportunity to spread stupid 19 all over the world. They want to be able to, that's what they want, the freedom to do. And you know what, they want to they want to kill people along the way before they die. And I was thinking to myself, let's say every single one of these truckers, in fact, I'm going to do the math. Let's say there's 150,000 people out there, right? Let's say every single one of those people got the stupid 19. Okay. Let's take this time. So to 150,000, and I think there's more than 150,000 people out there protesting. By the way, this protest is spreading. I'll tell you about that in a second too. 150,000, which is generous, and then we'll take that times 0.01%, or no, it's 0.001. Here, let me back up. Because I'm assuming that none of them are in their 70s or 80s if they're out there still driving trucks. 0.00 or 0.01%. So about 15. If there's 150,000, you might have 15 deaths. But then again, now we're in Megatron variant, and so it'd be probably even less than that because they're not seeing significant hospitalizations and deaths in the Megatron area. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, Julie Coles, how you doing? Midnight in Exile. Why are you so angry? That's two things, not Midnight in Exile. I should have said comma. And why are you so angry? You're in the house. Nice to see you guys. Did I miss somebody? No, I didn't. Okay, we're good. So, because there's people out there that honestly believe I should probably ask this question next time I see one of these people. There's people out there who honestly believe that 90% of people who get COVID are going to die. I don't think they understand that. They're acting like, yes, when all of you are dead because you got the stupid 19. Well, first of all, I'm going to guess that not every one of these truckers is unjabbed. I'm pretty sure they're not all purebloods. I'm sure there's remember, because the truckers, remember, these are the part of the hero clan. Nope, I shouldn't have said clan. Someone's going to catch that and go, yeah, see, I told you they were a bunch of racists. Clan with a C. They're part of the hero demographic, right? These were the heroes that kept your world running when everyone else was hiding in their basements and with masks and, well, not even masks. They're just, when they said 15 days is slow to spread. Well, guess who never got a 15 days? Unless they took some vacation time over the last 2 years. They didn't get a 15 days to slow the spread. They had to work. Like all of us who still had to work. We worked through this before there were any, before they even came up with the Fauci juice. They were working before, before they had any therapeutic. They were working all the way through this. They never stopped working. These were heroes. And now they've had it. They've had it. Guess what? All of us who survived this dreaded disease that, unless you're in your 70s or 80s, it's a very low, extreme, well, even if you're in your 70s, 80s, it's an extremely low possibility that you're even going to be hospitalized, let alone die. Yes, a lot of people were hospitalized. A lot of people died. A lot of people in those nursing homes in New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania died. But that's because they brought you know what? It was like Uber Eats for stupid 19 that they brought into the nursing homes. That's what you can call Cuomo and Phil Murphy and whoever the other jackass who's a governor in one of those states and Michigan and whatever. So yeah, we had we had stupid 19 Uber delivering it to those people, and they, of course, they're all in the very fragile demographic when it comes to this disease. But for the rest of us, you kind of, I got this before there ever was a Fauci juice. I'm one of the 60 million people, right? So what are you talking about? These people have been out there. I'm guessing a large number of them have already had it, and if they're getting the Megatron version, well, okay, they might have a mild cold symptoms, unless they're in their 80s. But again, now it's anecdotal evidence. I realize it, but I think about my mother-in-law. Okay. If everyone who's worried about this, go ahead and get your Fauci juice. My mother-in-law got the Fauci juice. She got boosters. She got all that because, she's in her 80s. And we absolutely, those people in those groups of people who have, are going to have concerns that have the comorbidities or just in those demographics where they know that you could die, they absolutely should get the Fauci juice. My mother-in-law just got through COVID, and I'm sure the Fauci juice helps. She's 80 years old. She has COPD. She has respiratory problems, and she got mild symptoms, and they let her out. Let her go, and she's fine. Okay, great. Protect people who are vulnerable, but you don't force people to put this foreign substance in your body. You don't. I'm sorry. And that's what the truckers are mad about. Thank you, Ronan Wolf, by the way, for sponsoring the show, being the first. What the hell's going on here? Thank you for being the first sponsor today, Ronan, who says, yeah, damn right, Marty, still working daily. Yeah, Ronan's a trucker, They deliver things across the Midwest and in other parts of the country. I think you guys are a little more, you're doing more regional stuff now, right? You finally got off that long overnight shit. But anyway, by the way, good morning, Black Hebrew Israelite. How you doing?
That's right.
And also Jesse Leon and somebody else just popped in. But, so I'm just like, come on. Let's, can they have some common sense? Can they actually make decisions based on data and science like they're starting to do in some of these countries? They're like, you know what? This shit ain't going away. It's not going away. It's, and why not, it's like people get, oh my God, that's all I'll call it, instead of instead of Megatron. People are getting the oh my God variant. Again, milder symptoms. I don't think they're hospitalizing many people with the oh my God variant. My mic volume's kind of low. Oh, here, let me turn that up a little bit. That should be a little better. Check 1, 2. Oh, I know. I turned the gain down. Let's see. Is that going to work? What the hell's going on here? I did that. Well, let's just bring it closer to me, and then that'll be better. There. How's that? Does that help? Does it help me being close to the mic? All right. So anyway, so the Canadians are protesting. That's something, right? That's something. Oh, by the way, thank you. I don't know who this is. Right Like Derp, thanks for retweeting the show out. Also, Maddie, thank you for putting the show out. So that's somebody who follows Maddie. Tyler F, thank you. Dehighway Watcher. Oh, not Dehighway Watcher. You do sometimes. Somnambule Nation did. I knew I saw it earlier. Thank you for those of you who share the show. Please share the stream. Also, while I'm doing it, let's do the show. Hit the like button. Sometime during the show, I'll remind you often. And right now we got like 22 people here, 24 people and 11 likes. And also then share the show before, during, and after the show. And if you want to sponsor the show, PDawgKnight.live or SuperChats are great. If you don't want to give your money to Susan, go to PDawgKnight.live. There's a little link up in the upper right-hand corner. You can watch the show there. You can look at follow the chat, participate in the chat there. You can do it all there. So, all right. There it is. I'm available to be your technical director for reasonable rates. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for that generous offer. So, let me see. I had one other thing bookmarked about this, and then we'll get into the articles. So, here's a little tiki-taka about this. Let's check this out. Here, let's make this start from the beginning. So this is interesting because now if you can see this picture, let me make it smaller or bigger. I mean, this would be better, and we'll fit it in. Oh shoot, that doesn't work either. Oh well, I guess I'll have to go full screen. Anyway, if you can see the screen here, this is fascinating. Is it? Oh, I'm gonna mute the music though. You know what? Here's what we'll do. I got an idea. I'll put my own music to this. Just a second. Let me put my own music to this. You'll get a kick out of this. Anyway, let's find one that's about. Let's see. Let me find one about the right length. Let's go. Oh, those are all 1 minute. Let's go. Just a second here. I'm going to put my own music to this TikTok video because I don't want to get a strike for a copyright thing for music that they're a pain in the ass. Why are all these 1 minute long? Hell, well, let's do this one. So the cowards started blocking highways. Someone calls them cowards. These are the tactics they're using. So I know that's kind of loud, but it is Metal Monday, so suffer. The cowards started blocking highways leading into Ottawa, refusing a complete city standstill. They tried to block the highways to stop these truckers. Oh, you can't even see that, can you? God dang it. Sometimes I feel like such a non-tech person. There we go. The cowards started blocking the highways leading to Ottawa, refusing a complete city still. But the truckers are prevailing. Look at that scene, just all the trucks down the road there. And this is not even the bigger. Tim Hortons closed their coffee shops For truckers and protesters, local food stores are refusing service to truckers. But the people of Ottawa are giving away food, water, and drinks. Farmers cleared the snow off their land for trucks. And all major trucking organizations refused responsibility of this historical protest. After that, truckers brought their own refueling stations, and the money raised for the convoy started being distributed among the truckers. They've raised something like $8 million for this. All right, we'll turn that off. Okay, so anyway, they've raised upwards of $8 million for this convoy. And they're apparently, someone said that, I don't know if this is true or not, they said they've raised enough money to have this convoy stick around for up to 2 years. All right, thank you. Our first sponsor, or first Streamlabs sponsor, I should say, from the offices of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. By the way, the office of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, you are
the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
Who said, oh, it's a commercial. Here we go. Just a friendly reminder from Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe Accounting. Don't forget to mention that you're repaying someone when using PayPal, Cashapp, or Venmo. Here's the beer money from Hugh Lewis Dewey. Thank you, Double D. If you know who Double D is, then thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's a make of beer money, because I did spend a lot of money this weekend. Holy shit. But it was worth it, man. You get to hang out with your buddies from college that you've known for now 40 years. You'll understand. So anyway, so yeah, that let's see, do I have any more bookmarks for the trucker? Here's one. Here's oh, I have a whole bunch of stuff on this. Jordan Peterson tweeted this out. This is interesting too. He said, Canadian, fascist, think about that. From the poison pen of the Toronto Star, friend to the working class, except when they have opinions. Yes, Jordan Peters has been all over this Canadian protest. Another one here. This is interesting. This trucker here says he's planning on staying in the capital, in the capital city of Ottawa, until either Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, currently in hiding, resigns. We'll get into that, or until all stupid 19 mandates are lifted. This is non-negotiable.
Why did you feel it was important to come to the event?
Because I want to fight for the freedoms of Canada and my grandchildren and my kids.
All right, and how long do you plan on staying?
I plan on staying until it's over. Until Justin resigns, all mandates are lifted.
All right, and what would you say to Trudeau if he was here right now?
I would ask him if he's going to listen to the people and let the people have a choice. Because we don't have a choice in his legislation.
Awesome. Anything else that you want to add?
Freedom!
Why did you feel it was important to come to the event?
Because I want to fight for the freedoms of Canada.
Stop. There we go. Kind of sounded like Mel Gibson in what's that? The Patriot, maybe? Or was it in what's the one where he was that when he did the Highland? Either one. It doesn't matter. Freedom is the word of the day. Freedom. Yay! Like, you know, like when you have Pee Wee Herman. Yeah, everyone just scream when it says freedom. Freedom. You know how that works. Tax AG, nice to see you. Straight Sith Mail, nice to see you. Chicago Mike, welcome to the show. All right, so let's see. I've got more. I've got a whole bunch on this. So I'm looking at the hashtags too. Well, we'll go back to the hashtags because I want to show you some of the people who are detracting from these guys. Now, and again, this is not just happening. Braveheart, thank you. This is not just happening in. It's not just happening in Canada. If you've been paying attention, now there's convoys going across Australia. There's a convoy going across the Netherlands. I don't know if there's it's happening in other places, and it's interesting because these countries now it's interesting though because the Netherlands, they're dropping all of their mandates, but apparently truckers in the Netherlands are doing this just in solidarity with the truckers in Canada. It's fascinating how this is spreading. And here's one of my favorite things I saw over the weekend. These are some protests in Canada. If you can't read the signs, one is carrying a sign saying, "She's vaccinated. Together we march against mandates." And the other woman's carrying a sign, "She's unvaccinated. Together we march against mandates." And that's really what this is about. You know what? Like I said, some people need to be vaccinated, especially if you're vulnerable. But, and some people are just going to choose not to, like especially people who've had the disease. There was just, I guess apparently the CDC website quietly changes things every now and then. And now they're saying that people who've already had it probably have better immunity, or, well, actually the only protection, immunity, or whatever, because we know that the Fauci juice doesn't do that. It barely acts as a prophylactic against Omicron. It's not stopping Omicron, and people who've had it already are better protected. And for up to, well, now they say for up to 2 years. Maybe, I wonder how they came up with the 2 years. How did they come up with could be protected for at least 2 years? Oh, I know. This has been around for just over 2 years. So maybe they're finding out that the people who got this early on have very little recurrence. Now people get recurrence. There are people who have it more than once. But I know that in the cases that they've talked about, they don't talk about it much. You notice how, because there's all kinds of things. Like I saw something today where people, where is it? Let me see if I can find it. I think I replied to it. Let me see if I replied to it. I hope I did. I may not have. But it was talking about how they always do these studies, right? They always do these studies of your chances of being hospitalized or getting severely sick. And they always go from either you've been vaccinated or I can't say that word. You've taken a vacation or you haven't taken a vacation. Okay, that's my code words if you've not been around here. But they never talk about if you've been a victim of the stupid. Okay, they never compare the people who've had it. They never talk about recurrence. They never talk about reinfection, right? They only talk about people who have the vacation or have not had the vacation, right? But is that because they don't want to talk about the fact that you might have acquired resistance? I'll call it resistance instead of the other word that means you don't get the stuff. If you have acquired resistance, apparently acquired resistance, now the CDC is admitting that's a little bit better than even the vacation, right? But they don't want to tell you that because they want to force everyone to take the vacation. And it's really, really afraid of YouTube pushing yeah, I know. Yes, you are correct. Why are you so angry? So anyway, but it's, and they're still going in on Joe Rogan, by the way. Here's an interesting thread, and then I'll get into some articles. This is from someone named Vinay Prasad, MD. He's a doctor. Okay. Not only am I progressive, a Bernie Sanders fan, but I also wrote 2 books about how to reform drug regulation and medicine to improve the health and safety and save society. Well, first of all, and I appreciate you, Dr. Prasad, but you're not going to save society. Sorry. Society is going to go its way no matter what you do. Anyway, everything done. Now, he goes on. Everything done to keep kids safe. And I'll leave this thread in the links below at the end of the show. Everything done to keep kids safe has been delusional, unproven, harmful mitigation that is not proportionate to the risk they face. What do I always talk about here? How kids from 0 to 17, it's like 0.0001% of those who've got it have perished. There have been more drowning deaths this last 12 months than the entire 2 years of COVID. The stupid. I said that word. I got to be careful. So anyway, he continues, everything to keep kids safe has been delusional, unproven, harmful mitigation that is not proportionate to the risk they face, harmful to their language and development, and has hurt a generation more than any other insult this century. The left failed kids. End of story. Here are some links. Can't believe they never ran a single cluster RCT on kids. So this is from Tablet Magazine, The Cult of Mass School Children. You can read those articles on your own, but he's given you several links of stories to go through. The detailed list of policy failures for kids. So this is his own Substack, the pandemic policies that hurt children. And mandating this vaccine at these ages to attend school after closing it for a year. Oh my God, just sheer stupidity. Hello, TC. Did I say hi to TC? Were you here earlier? Yes, you were. But anyway, so these are good links that he's using. Now, here's what cracks me up. Inevitably, and I'm going to scroll through this thread to show you some of this shit that this man's a doctor. It's not like he doesn't know anything about what he's talking about. But anytime you go anything against the narrative of the great Dr. Anthony Fauci, you endanger yourself to idiots who are going to tell you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So let's just find the first one. Let's see. Can never be said enough. Our COVID response destroyed any hope for single-payer health care in a generation. Yes, that's true too. Think about that. Do you think, imagine if you are from the United States of America and you're not a fan of any form of government-run health care. Can you imagine how, I don't want to call them fascist, but how authoritarian government-run health care would be in this country after this? Oh, do you think they're going to start forcing people to exercise? They're going to have giant Tai Chi gatherings in stadiums that you're forced to go to because, the obese are health risk and they don't want to pay for their health care. Oh, are they going to stop doing health care for the elderly because they're just naturally a comorbidity? Holy shit. Real quick. Thank you. Oh, I've got a new sponsor. Thank you. Thank you, Tyre Alexander, who brought my attention to this sponsor. Should I put some music to this one? Let's see. Hang on a second. Let's have this. We'll have it since it is Metal Monday. I got to turn this shit down though because it's way too loud. Here, let's do some background music for this commercial. All right, here we go. From the studio that brought you Hunter Biden brings The Basement. Here's how Biden not survived but imprisoned by MAGA terrorists during the 2020 campaign season and escaped. New York Times is calling this the greatest story ever told, coming to theaters this May. All right, here we go. So, thank you, Tyre Alexander, for sponsoring the show, and another great. Turn that shit down. Stop. There we go. All right. So that's an experiment I'm doing. I'm trying to get this where this works, where I can put music to the commercials, but it's I always forget to turn it off because it just keeps going and going and going. Anyway, real quick, I got a couple more notifications here. Thank you, Rob. Rob, thank you. Oh wait, what? Replying to PDawg Knight, I got one for the Convoy Canberra team. Willin, little feet. I've been warped by the rain, driven by the snow. I'm drunk and dirty, don't you know? And I'm still wildin'. Okay, cool. Thank you, Rob and Tyler F. also for sponsoring the show. I'm not sure who Rob is, but are you watching the show, Rob? Are you here? Just put a one in the chat if you're Rob. I know you are. When will we have to start kneeling in prayer 5 times a day, pointing to wherever Dr. Fauci is located at present? That's a good question, Avocado Steve. I'm telling you. It's getting more and more insane. Oh, I didn't want to change that. I want the convoy lane. So here. So again, we're going to give some examples. This is how Mika Brzezinski at MSDNC presents this convoy. Listen to this shit. This is hilarious. Well, it's hilarious. It's sad. It's scary, actually. Remember, Mika Brzezinski is one of the people who are supposed to tell you what to think. Okay? Listen to how Mika Brzezinski describes the convoy.
The capital of Canada to a standstill. Dozens of trucks and other vehicles could be seen blocking the downtown area of Ottawa as protesters rallied against vaccine mandates, masks, and lockdowns.
That seems like an interesting way to spend your weekend.
The demonstrations were initially aimed at pushback against vaccines.
Wait. That seems like an interesting way to spend your weekend. Now, before I go on with this jackass, or these jackasses, did you ever hear them one time kind of poo-pooing any of the protests over the last years, except for, of course, the insurrection? Did you ever hear them do it? Did you ever hear him just poo-poo the, any other protests? If that's a way you would like to spend your weekend. And in the immortal words of, wait a minute, are these guys Canadian? I can't remember. Oh, South Park's not in Canada. Does not set in Canada. I was going to say because the immortal words of South Park. Fuck my balls.
Mandates for truck drivers crossing the U.S.-Canada border. But the movement escalated into an expression of disapproval with the Canadian government's COVID-19 policies.
Yes, it should.
Officials say several investigations are underway into reports of severe vandalism and...
Now, see, this is just a smear. Several reports, several investigations are underway about severe vandalism. Severe vandalism? Let me see. Have they burned down any apartment complex projects? Have they looted any Target stores? Have they burned down the local Wendy's? Severe vandalism. I got it. Now I know that they I think they might have did some graffiti on one of the monuments there. That's, it's like I don't know Canada that well, guys, so don't quote me. Hello, Asian Research Directorate and People's Front. Listen to this. Listen to that again. Listen to what this airheaded hoe says.
Government's COVID-19 policies. Officials say several investigations are underway. Into reports of severe vandalism and criminal behavior.
Oh, I have the vapors. Oh no. Here. Severe vandalism and criminal activities. Oh no. Did anyone stock up at a CVS or a Walgreens? Just walk out the door? Is that criminal? Oh my God.
Including the desecration of national monuments.
Oh no. Oh my. The desecration of national monuments. Wow. I've never heard of any protests over the last year desecrating any national monuments. Aren't you the people who had a hard time condemning them tearing down statues of George Washington or Frederick Douglass or Abraham Lincoln? Do you hear the tone of her voice when talking about the defacing of national monuments?
Are underway into reports of severe vandalism and criminal behavior, including the desecration of national monuments.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh my! Oh, I just can't. Their desecration of national monuments. Oh no! And severe vandalism.
Meanwhile, Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson said some protesters harassed a soup kitchen, demanding free meals because their refusal to wear masks meant they were not to order in restaurants.
Yeah, well, they also have their own supply of food. People in Ottawa are bringing them food. These are truckers, people. They know how to get shit to where they need it, okay? I'm sure some might even have a couple forklifts carrying stuff around. Oh, but listen, she just... the breathless report is embarrassing.
That soup kitchen tweeted COVID protesters were given meals to defuse the conflict and that this weekend's events have caused
to defuse the conflict.
Significant strain on our operations at an already difficult time.
And she's... Wait, what is Beaker, or excuse me, Leaker? No, Beaker. It's Beaker and Leaker. He's Beaker, she's Leaker. At this
at an already difficult time.
So these anti-vaxxers actually took food from the mouths of the homeless.
These anti-vaxxers. Is that what it is, Joe? Is that what it is? Are they anti-vaxxers? Is that all you see from this protest? Hello, Lord Stanhope. Is that all you're seeing, Joe? Took food from the mouths of the homeless. Okay, there's about, what is it, 56 seconds left in this video. Let's see if they get in a racist also somehow. Let's see if they get something about racist, and let's see if they get something in.
Hungry, yeah.
Because they're so put upon. Because they have that back. I'm just curious again. Where were these protests when people were required to get 5 vaccines to start school? Where were these protests?
Hey, dipshit. Maybe that proves to you that they're not anti-vaxxers. Maybe, just maybe, these heroes, some of these heroes are a little bit concerned about putting something in their body that has no long-term effect studies, that just kind of got put together on the fly, that we certainly hope that people who are vulnerable takes, but does everybody really need it for a disease that in most demographics you are not at a high risk for hospitalization or dying? Now, maybe some of these truckers who are obese, maybe, I'll bet you more than half of these people protesting have taken the vacation. I bet you he's saying that these are all anti-vaxxers. He's saying they're all anti-vaxxers. Really? Are you sure, Joe? I'm going to guess that a majority of this group has taken the vacation.
When people were required to give their children 5 vaccines.
They were in the doctor's office getting vaccines.
They were in the...
By the way, did you know that you are not required to give your children those vacations? Now, I did, because we're in a family that believes in vacations. Big time. Especially my wife. Yes. But did you know that you're not required? There's waivers you can fill out if you really don't want to. Not required for schools. And they don't, and with no questions asked. But we did, because those all are actually true definition, true vacations. Code word. Holy shit. Getting vaccines for school is also governed coercion and doesn't make it right. Kids are required to go to school per government rules. And you can opt out of doing it. You have to sign off waivers to do it. They let you do it.
The doctor's office getting vaccinated, they were making fun of left-wingers on the West Coast for being loopy anti-vaxxers. Okay. Now they have met the enemy, and the enemy, their enemy, is themselves, because they've become what they hated. They've become what they mocked.
Look at the smug look on Mika's face while he's talking. Look at her. Look at Karen on the left here. Listen, look at her face. Just watch Mika.
Themselves, because they've become what they hated. They've become what they mocked. And now they're taking food from soup kitchens because they're so put upon for being asked to do what they've been asked to do, required to do their entire lives.
Coming up.
Okay, enough of this asshat. Oh, aren't you the couple that cheated on your significant others and started boinking at each other while you were on the show, and then you both got divorced and married each other? Yeah, I think so. Moral freak. Thank you, Maddie, for sponsoring the show again. Appreciate you. And Maddie, you are the new Streamlabs
Superstar sponsor of the day.
Who says, oh, wait a minute. We have another commercial. Let me get the appropriate music out for the commercials. Just a second. Let me find a 30-second one. Here we go. This show is brought to you by the Liberal Spin Doctors. Do you need blatant projection? Are you all right with exaggerating and lying? Hire one of our spin doctors today. Liberal Spin Doctors. When you need lies and propaganda to sound legit. All right. Thank you, Liberal Spin Doctors, for sponsoring the show. Nice. All right. All the commercials today will have metal music now that I've figured out how to do it without bleeding into the next part of the show. So anyway, back to these, back to this hashtag, because there's a lot of good stuff here. But that's the kind of shit you're up against. Okay. They automatically make you're an anti-vaxxer because you're protesting this. And again, I'm guessing that a vast majority of these people are vaccinated. It's not about the vaccines. It's about the mandates. But they cannot see that. So anyway, now this guy, Andrew Lawton, says they think we're going to be out here a couple of days. No. This is just starting, Convoy spokesman Benjamin Dichter said. Hello, Gen T. What's happening? Let's see here. So this is... this is 14 hours ago. More trucks just rolled into Ottawa for the free. Look, and by the way, these trucks are coming from all over Canada. It's insane some of the roads. I mean, it's a traffic jam. Now, also it's happening in Australia. So here's a little clip from Rebel News. It's happening in Australia because the Australians are having this crazy shit going on too. Here's oops, wait a minute. Put this. Is that right? There we go. Here's what's happening. Now, I don't know if this is within... It's hard to tell how many people are there when you're this deep into the crowd, but still, the fact that there's people protesting there, they've been protesting in Australia for a while. They're like, we don't give a fuck about this. We want freedom. So anyway, the Canadian convoy is now bigger than the Canadian military. Think about that. Let's see, hundreds of trucks are here in Windy Coats, a border town supporting the convoy in Ottawa to end all mandates. And here's one thing about, okay, so let me just tell you something about how protests work at least in the northern hemisphere, in the northern and western hemisphere, in North America. I don't know what protests are like in Mexico, but I know from the northern border of Mexico to the North Pole in North America. Here's something that happens at protests when protests are. Stop. Here's just something this is the norm, okay? When a group, how am I going to say this? Okay, I'm going to say generally, protests on the right versus protests on the left are often quite different. And here's something that you'll see at protests on the right that you will rarely see at protests on the left. Well, there's things that you see at protests on the left that you'll rarely see at protests on the right too, like burning buildings. But this is something that's far more common to protests on the right. People cleaning up after themselves. People pick up the trash. They don't leave the place completely trashed. All right. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you that one. Hey, we got another sponsor today. I gotta find the music. Hang on. Okay, let me find the music. This is one of our longtime sponsors today, and this one definitely needs music. Hang on. I have to find a way to have this more convenient. But here is we have another sponsor right now. Thank you. I'm going to assume this is Gunfox. You're hiding around there somewhere. I saw you. I didn't see you, but I know you're here now. Let's see. Here's a new sponsor. Let's use this one. Your husband or boyfriend away for protesting the Canadian capital? Help pass the time with BBC Rentals. Since they'll be gone for the weekend, you'll have plenty of time to enjoy a good BBC. BBC Rentals. Unless you're racist. All right. Thank you, BBC Rentals. That's a long-time sponsor. Greatly appreciated. And, we love it when BBC shows up. Doesn't everybody love it when BBC shows up? I just, I don't know if I phrased that right, but anyway. So Elon Musk has been, well, here, let's get into the articles because I could go through just this Twitter thread over. Anyway, here's, so now there's this, so they're having this protest, right? And, Justin Trudeau, who's been in complete hiding. Let's do the hiding part first. Let's go to the hiding part. So the Trudeau family, while these protests are going on, has been moved to a secret location during the anti-mandate protest. Remember, now notice, this particular outlet gets it correct. Anti-mandate protest. This is not an anti-vacation protest. This is an anti-mandate protest. And the Trudeau family and his family moved to a secret location. Now originally they said, okay, that he said that he was exposed to the stupid, which there's a double meaning when it comes to Justin Trudeau and me saying that. But anyway, wait, what happened to Marty? What happened to me? I don't know what happened to me. What happened? What do you mean what happened to Marty? I'm still here. Put a drone video of the truck. Oh, okay, I'll check that. I'll try to get that drone video too. Here's so anyway, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his family members were reportedly moved to a secret location Saturday over security concerns. Yes, the protesters are so dangerous and they're having their insurrection. So they moved him to a secret location Saturday over security concerns during countrywide protests against stupid 19 mandates in Ottawa. The country's officials transported the prime minister along with his wife and kids to an undisclosed location somewhere in the Canadian capital. Sources familiar with the matter told the CBC Trudeau's itinerary for the day reported his Saturday location as National Capital Region, whereas usually it's stated that the Prime Minister was in his Ottawa home. Trudeau has been working remotely as he was quarantining after one of his children tested positive for stupid 19. Now, one of his kids tested positive? I thought they were all vaxxed and boosted. I don't understand. How could that be? This is impossible. Because Twitter tells you about every other day that the vacations are safe and effective. I read it almost every day that somewhere that these are safe and effective and they're perfectly pristine. And there's even people in government who tell you that they will stop it dead in its tracks. Like, the President of the United States kind of said that once. And Rachel Maddow had a whole show on how great this will stop everything. And all these people are mad about you not getting the vaccine that will protect them. But then they get the jab and they take the Fauci juice but they're mad at us purebloods, even though supposedly they're protecting themselves, but they're mad that we won't protect them, but even though they protected themselves. I don't understand it. So anyway, he's in a remote location, hidden in a secret, the caverns of Ottawa somewhere. The anti-mandate freedom convoy made up tens of thousands of Canadian truckers entered Ottawa Saturday, prompting the officials' decision, according to Newsmax. The non-violent protest, while celebrated by Canadian public figures such as Jordan Peterson and Elon Musk, have drawn significant criticism from the country's officials. Oh, well... So sad. Too bad, country officials don't care. Maybe you should listen to them. I don't know. Oh, Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino said that some of the protesters demonstrated signs of flagrant extremism, adding that the Freedom Convoy was not about freedom. According to the CBC, quote, wait a minute. I've never done anything like this in my life. I'm 53 years old and this is the hill I'm going to die on. Do not tell me I have to put something in my body. Lorraine Commodore, one of the participants of the protests, who said she lost her job for refusal for getting the vacation. So anyway, while Trudeau's hiding, he's also been busy planning to hit the truckers again and implement interprovincial vacation mandates because the smug little prick just can't get a clue. On Sunday morning, the day after the massive Freedom Convoy arrived in Ottawa to protest vacation mandates that would force unvacationed Canadian truckers crossing into the United States to quarantine once they return home, the CBC reported that the Transport Minister for Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government stated that there was a work being done to implement interprovincial vacation mandates for truckers. So they would have to prove vaccination status, even to travel across Canada. These heroes who've never stopped working now are being forced to, take the Fauci juice. Meanwhile, while the truckers arrived out, Trudeau and his family reportedly fled their home and moved into an undisclosed location. Yes, we just read about that. Did I miss something there? No, I didn't. Okay. Asked about claims that his vacation mandate were causing supply chain disruptions, Trudeau stated, "I regret that the Conservative Party and conservative politicians are fear-mongering to Canadians about the supply chain. But the reality is that the vacation is how we're going to get through this," The Guardian reported. Well, wait a minute. Were they having supply chain issues a year ago, before they started saying that you must do this and you must do that and this and that and yada, yada, yada. I'm curious because it seems that their problems have been exacerbated by the fact that you're forcing people to do shit they don't want to do. You're forcing heroes' hands. I'm sorry. So let's see. Now CTV News delineated some other vacation mandates that have been foisted on the Canadian citizenry by the Trudeau government. Here it is. Along with the recent mandate for cross-border truckers, as in, U.S. to Canada, the federal government on November 30th, 2021, barred vacation travelers over the age of 12 from boarding a plane or passenger train in Canada. So they can't leave the country. Like, you can't leave. Like, although I know some people have been, a lot of Canadians have been going to Florida, like, like AOC and shit. Wait, she's not Canadian. Hello, did I say Asian Research Director? How you doing? So anyway, for the plane, regardless. Now this is regardless if they have a stupid 19 test. If they don't have, so here's the thing. You could have taken the test, gotten your negative results that day, and because you don't have the Fauci juice, they will not let you get on a plane or train. Seriously? Holy shit. What's wrong with these people? The federal government has also required core federal public servants, including the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, to be fully vacationed, a policy affecting approximately 267,000 workers, with exceptions made for medical or religious reasons or on human rights grounds. Although I hear it's pretty damn hard to get a religious exception. Like, almost impossible to get a religious exception in Canada. Until in mid-January, Stephen Lakowski, president of the Canadian Trucking Alliance, acknowledged to Bloomberg News that Canada was already 23,000 drivers short of what's needed to meet demand, a key reason for supply chain problems across the country. Alberta Premier Jason Kenney has tried to get the Canadian and U.S. governments to exempt truckers from vacation mandates at the border. He stated, quote, "The decision to require unvacation truckers to quarantine after they cross the border has basically taken thousands of long-haul truckers out of the cross-border transportation logistics systems." He added that the government of Alberta was just calling on the two federal governments to simply exercise a little bit of common sense here and to extend an exemption for unvacation cross-border truckers. This policy, I don't think, makes any compelling public health sense, but it will worsen what we know as a growing supply chain issue. Duh. Jay Hill, former Conservative member of the Canadian Parliament, stated of the Freedom Convoy, "This thing has really taken a life of its own. The vast majority of people that have either come on board to participate in the truck convoy or those donating to support it financially have just reached a point of frustration and exasperation with these lockdowns and continuation of restrictions that they want someone to speak up and say, hey, enough is enough, dickheads." Oh, I mean, federal government. Anyway, Mr. and then whatever. Now, Cannon Hotep, salute my friend. Welcome to the show, who's sponsoring it through YouTube Super Chat, who says, "Rumble, Chuckers, rumble." Yeah. I'm already anticipating this. Someone's going to do a remake of C.W. McCaw's Convoy from the 70s, a song that was recorded not too far from my home in Omaha, Nebraska. I got a feeling it'll be some sort of hip-hop version of Convoy, or maybe a country version with some hip-hop break in it. That would be really cool. That's what they should do. They should find a way to remake Convoy with like a kind of a country version. You know how kind of new country all has hip-hop beats under it anyway? So you could do a hip-hop country version of Convoy and then have a break in it where they're talking about how Trudeau's an asshole and some stuff like that, you know. So anyway, thank you, Cannon Hotep. Greatly appreciated, sir. And You're always a good contributor to the show. So anyway, so now they're going to try to put some new restrictions in Canada. Like, it's, you know what? It's always a great idea when there's a whole bunch of people out protesting what you're doing, especially when you're doing some authoritarian shit, to put more authoritarian shit in place. That's always just one of the smartest things you can do when you are leading a country. Here's the thing. Maybe they haven't learned this, and maybe they don't understand. And I remember, one of the most powerful unions in the country, at least in the United States, is the Teamsters. And there's this thing where you just don't want to piss off the truckers, and sounds like he's trying to piss them off more. Anyone else feel that? I feel like he's just trying to piss them off more, and it's not gonna go well. And you got this. If you've seen the pictures of the convoy, they're coming from every corner of Canada to Ottawa, and there's traffic jams. 30, 40 mile long traffic jams along some of these highways because these trucks are on their way and they're going to be surrounding Ottawa. And the people of Ottawa, I feel bad for the people of Ottawa, but, some of the people of Ottawa are supporting it. Some are mad about it. I don't know. But be mad at your government. So anyway, here's a great article in Legal Insurrection. Insurrection. Did I say that? Is that how I said that? Legal Insurrection. We are all Canadian truckers now. Except the elites who are blaming the Freedom Convoy. This is the other playbook that they've brought out, because they got to bring out the playbook. They're blaming the convoy on the Russians. And it's hilarious. Thank you, Selecta Boy. Yeah, boy. For sponsoring the show. Appreciate you. Who says, I wonder why they've never developed a vaccine called MYB, also known as Mind Your Business. Good question. Very good question. Again, thank you for sponsoring the show. That gets one of these too. All right. So it's hard to overstate the import of the Freedom Convoy that on Saturday arrived at Canada's capital city, Ottawa. After 6 days spent crossing Canada, a convoy that began as a protest against mandatory vacations for truckers who traveled to the United States was expected to arrive in Ottawa late Saturday afternoon, with its members and supporters airing a wide array of grievances. The loosely organized quote-unquote Freedom Rally, or quote-unquote Freedom Convoy, of trucks and private vehicles had set off from British Columbia and ebbed and flowed in size on the way to the capital, where police braced for an unpredictable weekend of protests. In recent days, the convoy was joined by other smaller groups from the south and east of Ottawa, as well as the nation's capital region itself. Now, the movement has attracted people opposed to all pandemic restrictions, others who want Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to step down, and some who simply say to the government, fuck off. Okay, I embellished. Sometimes I embellish when I read these things. On Friday, Chief Peter Sloley of the Ottawa Police Service declined to say how many protesters the force expected to converge on Parliament Hill. His department said that they were coming to the capital in 8 different streams. The demonstrations this weekend will be unique, fluid, risky, and significant. He said at a news conference. Now, following the convoy's progress since early last week, perhaps the best analysis comes from Neil Oliver, a Scottish television presenter, author, and presenter of several documentary series on archaeology and history. And here's his report.
This week, I got a letter from a family for whom life...
Hey, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to read this because this is 9 minutes long and I'm not going to go through a 9-minute video. But after reviewing the contents of fan letters, which discuss people opting to move from their homes to get away from the vacation dictates, Oliver poetically notes just how one world the globalization society has become. He brilliantly segues into the discussion of the Freedom Convoy and opines that he wishes he was a Canadian trucker now. So you'll have to watch the video. But after watch, this guy said, this guy writing says, after watching the video, he wants to paint his face blue, don a kilt, and yell, "Freedom!" Load up our CRV and head north. Anyway, everyone who no longer wants to sacrifice individual liberties and personal choice on the altar of misguided pandemic response is a Canadian now. We are all Canadians now. Is there a Canadian? Do they have flag emojis in this in these YouTube emoji things? I don't think they do. Do they? They don't. No, they don't have flags. Doggone it. They have symbols. Shoot. I would be putting up a flag emoji, a Canadian flag emoji. We are all Canadians now. Okay, we are all Canadians now. Anyway, except the elites. Except the elites. The elites are just furious, and even in the politicians of the United States are comparing them to the insurrectionist and shit like that. And obviously, you saw Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. The smug. Just the smug dripping off their Botox-addled faces was just something to behold. I mean, you know. Anyway, the elites, they're not handling the influx of regular citizens demanding their God-given rights terribly well. CBC host Neil Koskell blamed the Russians for the historic convoy while speaking with the Canadian Prime Minister of Public Safety, or Canadian Minister of Public Safety. He says, I do ask that because given Canadian support of Ukraine in this current crisis with Russia, I don't know if it's far-fetched to ask, but well, here's this. Listen to this fucker.
I do ask that because, given Canada's support of Ukraine in this current crisis with Russia, I don't know if it's far-fetched to ask, but there is concern that Russian actors could be continuing to fuel things as this protest grows, or perhaps even instigating it from the outset. From the U.S., baby?
Well, again, I'm going to defer to our partners in the public safety, the trained officials and experts in that area.
I mean, this dick, at least he didn't answer that. I don't think he really dignified the question, but her question, oh, could this be the Russians? And then we already talked about him, Canadian Prime Minister leaving leaving his home in Ottawa. He's hiding somewhere. By the way, despite security concerns, there have been no incidents at the rally, according to the Ottawa police. So now here's some a picture of dangerous extremists. Here's some dangerous extremists making snow angels, because that's what dangerous extremists do. I just thought I thought you'd want to see this. This is one of the Russian agents at the protest in Ottawa. You know how dangerous they are, and I just wanted to show you that we cannot have this. This is something that, great. You can go out and let your voices be heard, but do not go out and vandalize the snow, because snow is such a precious commodity in Canada that we just can't have that kind of shit, okay? Anyway, looking at the footage, it appears Trudeau's missed quite the celebration. It also appears the Canadians didn't allow infiltrators to taint this important demonstration. Now, is this the one where I think this might be the one. Now, there was one Confederate battle flag that was seen in this entire, hello, ladies. What's the hell are they showing this part for? Oh, she pulled her shirt up. Isn't it cold in Canada? Wait a minute. Now, I was in Iowa this weekend, and it was really, really cold down there. It was like 14 degrees, and those women are just, what the... Well, anyway. Free hugs? Yes. Oh, here, look. See this sign down here? Look at this. See this sign in the lower left-hand corner? This is a pure sign of fascism. Free hugs. Can you believe this shit? Free hugs? God, I'm sure that is, I bet they only hug white people though. So maybe it's a racist free hug sign. Let's see. Keep on trucking. Yes, that's also one of those things that people say when they are going to storm a capital. What the hell's going on here? Okay, I think I have a circle of death here. Okay, well, oh, there it goes. Oh no, a swear word. Fascists. Look at these fascists. They look so angry and so dangerous. There's an old lady there. Okay. Fight for freedom, people honking horns. Boy, this is just, I would feel so unsafe in a gathering like this with all these racists and fascists and all that stuff. So anyway, you get the idea. We don't need to keep watching that. Just it's kind of a celebration, okay? It's kind of a celebration. Anyway, all right, let's see. You approve. Well, of course you approve, Cashapp, because you fascists of a feather flock together, and so I feel I would feel completely in danger in that setting. I'm saying. Oh, I got to keep that thread open, right? So hang on. Those articles are really important. All right, let's move on. Now, Ottawa police, as we mentioned earlier, Ottawa police say they are devoting significant resources to clearing out protesters on the second day of freedom. So they're not happy that these protesters are here. There's thousands of people and trucks and all kinds of vehicles and shit. And I think, well, here, the Ottawa police are focusing on moving protesters out of the city's downtown area a day after thousands of truckers and tens of thousands of demonstrators marched through the city demanding the end to vacation mandates. The Freedom Convoy, made up of hundreds of vehicles and reportedly 45 miles long at one point, at least the part that, there's a whole other group coming from Saskatchewan. But anyway, reportedly 45 mile long convoy. That's a hell of a convoy. I've seen 100 truck convoy before back in the 70s when you'd see those more often. Or you're driving down the freeway and you count how many trucks you go by, and we passed like 100 trucks when we were going on a vacation. But a 45 mile long convoy. That's something. I don't know what that is in kilometers for you Canadians, but that's a long way. Hello, random American, by the way. The Freedom Convoy is made up of hundreds of vehicles and reportedly 45 miles long at one point, rolled into Ottawa Saturday as truck drivers in Canada protest the country's vacation mandate. The protest has now entered its second day in Canada's capital, with many of the protesters continuing to demonstrate against the vacation mandates and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who's in an undisclosed location. The Ottawa police announced Sunday that its focus would be now shift to pushing protesters out of the downtown area as the city attempts to return to normal after the influx of people. Well, the protesters have already said, especially the guys with the big-ass trucks that are really hard to move. You know how many giant tow trucks you would have to actually move some of these guys out? Anyway, they said this afternoon a large presence of police continues throughout the downtown core, and the movement of protesters and trucks continued to be managed, the police said in a statement. The statement continued, quote, "Police, city, and staff are very aware of the complaints relating to parking, idling, noise-making, and other inappropriate behavior," like the show us your Hooters gals that were in the video that, well, they didn't show their Hooters. They showed their bras. They didn't show their Hooters. Anyway, inappropriate behavior at this time due to safety concerns. Management of the protest and traffic must take precedence. Yes, because, when someone's in a giant 18-wheeler, I don't know how many horsepower one of those trucks has, but it must be a lot. It's really easy to get them to move those trucks where you want them to go when you're a police officer. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
With the deuce saying, "I'm just waiting for the white liberals to call these truckers honkies." Yes.
That's right.
Also, did you hear that Justin tried to get the military to stop the truckers and told they told him, fuck no.
That's right.
Yes, I did. They were trying to create, they tried to do roadblocks. They tried to ban people from gathering along the highways to cheer them on. They were doing all kinds of crazy shit. Gunvox, good morning. Anna Lynn, good morning. Lord Stanhope, good morning. Yeah, they tried, and they failed miserably. So continuing throughout these matters, again, there are complaints of complaints related to parking, idling, noise making, and other inappropriate behavior. At this time, due to safety concerns, the management of the protest and traffic must take precedence. However, these matters are being responded to as soon as resources become available. Police continue to respond to calls for service throughout the city. Though throughout the remainder of the day and into the evening, focus will shift to implementation of egress and traffic approaches that move crowds and vehicles out of the downtown core. This will require a significant number of police and city resources. Well, now here's the fascinating thing about that. So now they're going to probably come in with I don't know, maybe are they going to come in with riot police? What are they going to do? Are they going to just come in with thousands of police officers? And how many of the police officers know how to drive an 18-wheeler if they happen to arrest a trucker that has an 18-wheeler sitting in the middle of the road? Who knows how to drive one of those big-ass trucks? I mean, they're not easy. Got that, sometimes they have, 12-gear systems and shit. I mean, it's not easy to drive a truck, or even more than that. Maybe some of our trucker friends in the chat can tell you how challenged it is the first time you try to learn to drive one of those trucks and shift through all those gears that those trucks have. It's kind of crazy. It's not an easy thing to do. Anyway, on Friday, the day before the rally, Trudeau dismissed the Freedom Convoy as a fringe minority that does not represent the views of Canadians. Well, I bet you them Canadians like to get their, their hamburgers and whatever else you ship in trucks, waffle irons and golf clubs and, your anti-itch cream and your Tums. I'm sure they like getting those things. And those things often come via truckers or, anything. Do they have Sam's Clubs and Costco's up in Canada? Anything that goes to a Sam's Club and Costco, you know how it gets there? It gets there by a truck. Or anything at UPS gets there. Well, UPS has their own trucks. But anyway, most of the shit you get that you got to go to the store for comes in a truck. So I'm sure these fringe minority that it says that does not represent the view of Canadians. Well, guess what? When they can't get their what's a good Canadian? When they can't get a Molson, when you can't get your 6-pack of Molson, you'll be like, hey, well, what do the truckers want again? Can we help the truckers out? Because I need my Molson. Just saying. Boy, most of all trucks nowadays are all automatic. Well, they're not that automatic. They don't get from point A to point B by themselves. Okay. Anyway, so, but he says, we know the way through this pandemic is by getting everyone vaccinated because, it'll stop the virus in its tracks. No, it won't. And the overwhelming majority, close to 90% of Canadians have done exactly that. Well, then what's the problem? If 90% of Canadians have already taken the vacation, right? Then what are you even worried about? Oh, wait. It doesn't stop the Omicron. It doesn't stop the oh my God variant. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. It does not. Anyway, Trudeau said a small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa who are holding unacceptable views. Oh my God. They are holding unacceptable views. We should put them in jail. A small fringe of minority people who are on their way to Ottawa who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing. They're expressing unacceptable views. Do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other, who know that following the science, yes, we are following the science, Justin, stepping up to protect each other is the best way to continue to ensure our freedoms, our rights, and our values as a country. I don't know that Justin has any values. I'm just saying. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Chicago Mike, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Who says, how are the Canadians how the hell do they get their Moosehead and hockey equipment? Exactly. That's how you get shit up in Canada. They don't have extensive rail. I mean, they have some rail lines, but everything's trucking in Canada. Isn't ice truckers in Canada? Is that the ice truckers? Is that Canadians? Well, it might as well be. Okay. Hello, Dilla Hayes. Oh my gosh, welcome back, man. Good to see you. I was just thinking about you the other day. Well, he said himself, we won't rest till 100% have been vacationed. That's stupid. That's just stupid. Anyway, these heroes, you're holding up the country because these heroes have different views. Unacceptable views, by the way. Anyway, supporters of the convoy have used those words against the Prime Minister, repeating them to motivate crowds and protesters to show up and demonstrate. Rebel News publisher Ezra Levant, a vocal critic of Trudeau, repeated the Prime Minister's phrase during a speech at Sunday rally. He said, "I want to tell you what excites me the most about this crowd. I see lots of cameras, a lot of independent journalists, because when people say, what do we do about the media? I say, you become the media, and that's what you do. The news media acts like a party, the media party, like is it a political party, which they kind of are, at least here in the States for sure. It's a subsidiary of the Liberal Party. Oh, yes, and in the United States, it's the media is the subsidiary of the Democratic Party, for those of you who bitch about me saying the correct actual word, because Democrat Party is the name of the party. Democratic is not a description of the Democrat Party. Democratic is a description. Democrat is a name. That's the name of your party. You are the Democrat Party. Dickheads. They always get so mad because they think that's code. Anyway, the news media acts like a party. The media party, it's a subsidiary of the Liberal Party. So you've got to tell the stories yourself. Everyone who's here, everyone who's along the road has to bear witness and testify to what they saw, because there's two different competing narratives. I've never seen a more diverse group of Canadians, he said, and far from violence, people want not to be violated anymore. Justin Trudeau says you're extreme, but he's the one who has violated our civil rights. He thinks we're a fringe, but that's a pretty bloody big fringe. Yes, it is. So good on them. Good on the Canadian truckers. Shout out to all you Canadians who are on board. And even Elon Musk is mocking Trudeau. I know I'm over time, but I'm going to keep going for a minute. He mocks Trudeau after the fringe minority is actually the government. Entrepreneur Elon Musk mocked Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Sunday for dismissing the Freedom Convoy of truckers against vacation mandates as a fringe minority. The convoy rolled into Ottawa for protests attended by tens of thousands of people on Saturday. Demonstrators mocked Trudeau, called for him to step down, and demanded an end to Canadian stupid 19 vacation mandates. And here's Elon Musk in his own dry way on Twitter. It would appear that the so-called fringe minority is actually the government. Protesting in a Canadian winter shows real commitment. I'm saying it's cold as F out there.
That's right.
I gave you a Black Hebrew Israelite for that one. On Friday, Trudeau dismissed the trucker convoy we already talked about. Here he is. Here's old dickhead himself.
We know the way through this pandemic is by getting everyone vaccinated. And the overwhelming majority, close to 90% of Canadians have done it.
Again, if 90% have already done it, then shut the fuck up. You've done your job. Shut up. Open the world up. Because if the vacations are so great, then we're fine. What are you going to do?
Exactly that. The small fringe minority
They're fringe.
of people who are on their way to Ottawa.
The the little people who make sure you get food on your grocery shelves, who are protesting right now. Yes, that's who you see. These are the little people that just are too dumb to cater to our demands.
Or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing.
Yes. I wanted to hear it out of his voice.
Do not represent the views of Canadians who have been there for each other, who know.
Oh, you mean like the truckers who've been working through the entire pandemic, who have been there for you, the heroes? You jackass.
Following the science.
Science!
And stepping up to protect each other is the best way to continue to ensure our freedoms, our rights, our values as a country. Okay, Justin. Whatever. There's a couple other articles out here. Israel is a profile in vaccine failure. You can read that one in American Thinker. I'll have that in the tabs. Also, and there's also one. This is a good one too, and I don't have time to get into it. But the unbearable racism of COVID. This article right here in American Thinker. I have, like I said, I have a couple of these open. And let me just give you a little taste of this one. The media would like to say that Stupid 19 has struck minorities harder than other races. Yes, people of color most affected. Or as the Washington Post has it, Stupid 19 ravages minorities rather than other races. This is a loaded and utterly dishonest statement, and one with racist undertones to boot. Yes, they're actually being quite racist by telling you this bullshit. First of all, Stupid 19 is not an agent that decides to ravage one race or rather than another. Actually, Stupid 19 doesn't ravage anyone. One contracts Stupid 19 as one would any other disease, and one does so in a number of ways and situations. Second, there's that word minorities. By this, the media do not mean minorities in the sense of those who constitute a minority of the population, as do all races, depending on how and where they are counted. What they mean are black people and Hispanics, but primarily the brothers, okay? Among the brothers, they do not mean IBM executives or sports billionaires. They mean, poor black people. The media goes out of its way to find individuals of partially African descent who are unsuccessful, and then it claims that they are a victim of systemic racism. In truth, they, meaning me, are no more victims than any one of us. Every person alive has faced challenges. Some have faced them and surmounted them. Others have not. Some find a convenient excuse for failure in their race or sex. Now, I'm saying there's never been any, deterrent to things, but guess what? This is right. And third, there's that phrase, other races. So they mean minorities and other races, black people and other races that aren't white people. And I just don't like this whole thing. You can read the rest of this. It's a great article, but I don't have time. Like I said, look, I need you to do something for me, though. This is really, really, really important. If you haven't done this already, by the way, Chicago Mike, who is now the superstar sponsor of the day, please, before I get into my next sentence beyond this, and I'll just make this a run-on sentence, please make sure that you hit the like button right now before you go. And, yeah, as you can tell, I'm closing the show. And please share the stream before, during, after the show. Even if you do it after, people might see that you did that, and then they'll say, oh, what's he talking about? Oh, he's talking about the trucker rally. Well, I'm interested in the trucker rally. This guy's talking about, let's see what this guy has to say about the trucker rally. And then they might watch 15, 20 minutes of the show. Who knows? Maybe they'll watch a half hour of the show. Maybe they'll watch 45 minutes of the show. But you get them to watch the show, and then they're hooked. Then they want to say, hey, I see all these people talking in this chat thing that's in the little phone here. That looks pretty interesting, too. And maybe I'll watch that, too. And then we just continue to gain more friends and more idols and not idols. What was I trying to think of?
Whatever the word is. More people to have fun at the show. So share the stream, okay? Share the stream. And then if you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section and share the video you just watched. Because you're not watching the stream, you're watching a video. Share the video before, during, and after the show. It works. And then also, if you want to be a sponsor of the show, like Chicago Mike, Black Hebrew Israelite, Select a Boy, Cannon Hotep, Gunfox 61, and Maddie and Tyre Alexander, and Dewey Cheatham, How That Be Duck Dog. Please, you can do that through Streamlabs, you can do it through SuperChats, you can do it through Venmo and Cashapp, whatever you want to do. All the information is down below. 24 hours a day, you can do it, except for SuperChats, of course, but the other 3 you can do 24 hours a day. And I'll read your message just like I'm about to read Black Hebrew Israelite. Thank you for continuing to sponsor the show, sir. Who says, this little prick is even unpopular amongst other world leaders. They go out of their way not to acknowledge his presence or shake his hand.
That's right.
I'm assuming this little prick means Justin Trudeau. And I've seen plenty of video of him being snubbed everywhere he goes by, the one is funny when he wants to try to get Bolsonaro to acknowledge him, and Bolsonaro just looks at him first of all, barely even looks at him, and then goes shakes someone else's hand as Justin Trudeau's putting his hand out, he goes shakes another dude's hands. But Bolsonaro's, he's kind of his own guy. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Thanks for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the show on this lovely Metal Monday. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, like I always am, and I'll be here tomorrow. I should always give you the caveat, as close to 10 o'clock Eastern as I can get here. So sometimes it's 10:15, but usually not much more than that because I usually gotta work. Anyway, gotta go. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.